Egyptian god card! Sniper, the Sky Dragon! Obelisk the Tormentor and the Winged Dragon of Ra! You've allowed me to assemble the 3 strongest and most feared creatures in Duel Monsters, Kaiba.
Hey guys, this is Maniac. Welcome guys on this channel, and welcome to the first new segment that I call Let's Talk About. So today I want to talk about with you guys about the movie Pyramid of Light. Of course, I want to make a little summation about it, give on this new segment a couple of background information about this and that matter that we will be talking about. So today we're going to be talking, like I said, about the movie Pyramid of Light. So basically what is going on? We finished Battle City in this arc, it is playing mainly after the Battle City finals, and Seto Kaiba, as always, is trying to find a new way to defeat Yugi and his 3 Egyptian god monsters. Yes. And yeah, he gets an idea what to do. What is more logical than trying to find the best and most strongest cards than to go to the maker of the cards, which is of course none other than Maximilian Pegasus. So after he tried a couple of times defeating Yugi in a simulation, he's even sending away his best expertise and scientific and technological side, and after that he gets the idea to fly directly to Pegasus, to the Duelist Kingdom. But we're not sure whether he flies especially to the Duelist Kingdom, or he flies to Industrial Illusion, but I think it's the Duelist Kingdom. And there he finds out that Pegasus factually has a way to defeat the 3 Egyptian boss monster cards from Yugi. That he even possesses a card which has the ability to do just that. After Seto Kaiba does talk to Pegasus, trying to convince him to give him this card, Pegasus refuses, and then of course, as always, Pegasus is being challenged by Seto Kaiba to a duel in which the winner keeps the very card that he's seeking for. And we get a very good, I would even say viewable duel to see. I would, all of you that didn't see this duel, recommend to see that. It is very much enjoyable. Seto Kaiba ultimately defeats Pegasus in a very titanic struggle, and then afterwards realizes that he even possesses 2 cards after his opinion, which he then takes after winning the duel, flying back to Yugi and trying to lure him into a duel, while we see a scene change We see Yugi, I think Tristan, Thea, and Joey. And there are many top contenders which, after the Battle City finals are over, who want to challenge Yugi Muto for a duel. And he's been then, as a result of that, chased through the streets by many duelists who want to challenge him. Joey and Tristan then ultimately stop most of them, I think even all of them that coming after Yugi. And then Joey is engaged in a duel against many opponents from Yugi. That's why I spoil now. I will be also putting a deck profile from all together the cards from the opponents of Joey, which I will be calling Joey's opponents and antagonists duelists deck profile. Thanks to Dark Phantom for doing that and for making this suggestion. It took me a while to do it, and now I'm finished with it. It's very consistent and good playable. So further on onto the story line, and then Yugi and Tia fled from the field to a museum up to meet Solomon Muto, where he sees these old artifacts from Egypt that are bringing information around about the mysterious god of death Anubis on a sarcophagus. Then they are reading, I think, a old sentence on the sarcophagus, and this Anubis sarcophagus then goes wild. While doing that, Yugi is being lured by the brother of Seto Kaiba, Mokuba Kaiba, to meet Seto Kaiba and then to duel him. They're meeting in a place. I don't know which one. I don't recall it that good. But still, he's luring him into a duel, closing all doors and windows, and then trying to get him to a duel where he thinks he can defeat him finally, which he very much succeeds with, as he plays out the 3 Egyptian god cards, or even better to say, he Seto Kaiba provokes Yugi to summon all 3 with a special spell card. I think it's called obligatory summon. And then eventually, with his activation of Pyramid of Light, he defeats all of them. And then all of a sudden, Atom is the very one dueling him with Seto Kaiba, and the ghost of Yugi Muto at the same time is dragged onto this realm where the Pyramid of Light, or better to say, Anubis and the sarcophagus, are playing a role. He's meeting Joey and Tristan, where Joey and Tristan's spirits, which are also dragged into this very realm. And then later on, Tia, Solomon Muto, which encountered Pegasus in a helicopter. Lastly, not dragged into it, but Tia sends her spirit, you might say, or conjures her spirit to go into that realm and help her friends, because she feels that they might need her. And then we have all the 4 friends from Symbol of Friendship, Yugi, Tristan, Joey, and Tia, into this realm, and facing ultimately all the mummies of the sarcophagus, just surround the sarcophagus of Anubis. And last but not least, while they're dueling, Seto Kaiba and Atom are dueling themselves, finally the Anubis reveals himself, taking the place of Seto Kaiba, and revealing to all of us that he was the one that convinced Seto Kaiba to lure Atom or Yugi and or into a duel, and ultimately then culminating and defeating him. So Seto Kaiba is knocked out cold, kind of, and Anubis takes his place, and the duel resumes. But last but not least, Atem can defeat him, and yeah, Anubis is then dragged down back to his real. Another fact that I forgot to mention was that in this museum where the artifacts are placed in, Solomon Muto first of all sees this very pyramid of light artifact in advertising, and then goes there with Yugi and Tea, and then it's a very the pyramid, which was made as an counterpart to the Millennium Puzzle. And then the very Anubis was a opponent of Atem back in the days, who tried to challenge him and to defeat him, to take his place, but he couldn't, and was then ultimately defeated in the past, a very, very ancient past. So there we are, and last but not least, he Atem defeats him, and of course Yugi and Atem in combination with each other. So then we see Seto Kaiba just coming back as himself, and yeah, then this all is concluded. Seto Kaiba not succeeding in defeating Atem or Yugi, and yeah, so the thing goes on, you might say. It is all playing, of course, in between Battle City and the Orichalcos arc, because the Virtual World arc is an in-between arc between the Battle City, Streets of Battle City, you might say, and in between the finals, or better to say, in between the finals, because I think after the first or the second duel it appears. So after Battle City is before the Pyramid of Light and before the Orichalcos arc, you might say, storytelling wise. So a result of that, I in the decks that I built for this arc, we of course already told that many duelists that duel themselves against Joey are gathered together in one deck profile. And then we have Joey Wheeler, of course, with the deck profile, Maximilian Pegasus, Yugi and Atem, and Seto Kaiba, and last but not least, of course, Anubis. So many decks which are lacking cards I exchange with most Battle City of cards, and then maybe the one other cards which play in the Orichalcos arc. Not now Legendary Dragons or the Seal of Orichalcos, but maybe cards which were then in the decks shown in the decks of, for example, Joey Wheeler. For example, he played Marauding Captain, and I think the Fiend Mega Cyber. Those were two cards that I put in there because I thought perhaps he already had them in there. Yeah, it's my speculation and my thesis. So you might make a mix of both decks. Like I said, we are not yet in the Orichalcos arc, so as a result of that, you don't have the Legendary Dragons, you don't have the Seal of Orichalcos yet. But a couple of other cards might make sense. Yeah, and then to make a very long story short, that's about it. As I wanted to tell you and talk about with you. Of course, my personal stance and opinion about the movie, I very, very much liked it. I loved it, not to say, because I think it was very close to the anime, And what I also loved is that the cards, which are actually are Orica cards always, but in that special movie, I don't know how the later movies are handling with that because I didn't see them yet. Having TCG cards with the card text and all, which makes it all more relatable for players and collectors, as I am. And yeah, so I thought also the art style and the duels, of course the synchronization I also loved, both in English and in German. I also saw both versions, and yeah, and of course I know the synchronization, the speaker and the yeah, which were the very ones that originally make the voices and the voice actors for the uh, characters in the anime. So I love that as well, that they just didn't take any others, but they took mostly the same ones, except and for one exception, I think, at least in the German version, Mokaba Kaiba's voice actor is Noah Kaiba's voice actor, so they just exchanged that, unfortunately, because it's a very little bit irritating. But still, the others are just all the same, so as a result of that, it makes it more relatable as well. Yeah, why they don't they make more movies like that? The Dark Offside of the Dimension movie I didn't see. I think it came out 2016 around about ish, something like that. I'm not sure 100% certain, but yeah, I might research it and then maybe correct myself. Though still, I think it would be very much cool and relatable also for the TCG and Konami if they make another anime. They could, for example, make an anime with my point of view, with the duelist monster era characters and with the GX. They're, I think, the most popular ones, and their timelines are linked together. So it would be make all sense of the world. Maybe to remove a new threat, you could have the team of Yugi and the team of Jaden, and they're working together to defeat this new foe. Of course, in terms of many duels they have to face, and then maybe so remaining one uh, um, obstacle after another, obstacle after another. Yeah, and then ultimately resulting in maybe a boss fight in the end, and then yeah, defeating this new opponent. You could make 2 or 3 seasons out of that. It wouldn't be that much of a challenge, I think. Unfortunately, I cannot paint that well. Otherwise, I would maybe do it myself. Storyline, I would have, yeah, I would have virtually one in mind, which you could be making like that, not in such detail, but yeah, I could correct myself in that matter, and then maybe 1 or 2 day, or one or the other day, maybe release that. But yeah, as I already said, I don't have the rights either, so I would yeah, just call, and then maybe Konami or the Shueisha Studio TV studios to just um, make that happen. But yeah, as I already said, I don't have the rights. Yeah, but still, I think in general, a movie makes just a movie also makes sense, but I think it would be more practical and also valuable if they set up a new yeah, a new anime, which would be, I think, hyping the TCG as well. So you could also, for example, use many support cards which are already came out, or which already came out in the very anime. and that also make this more relatable. So this is my opinion and the background story, and this is the new segment. Let's talk about ... and yeah, I hope you guys liked it, enjoyed it, and yeah, stay tuned for more in the future. And I hope yeah, to receive good critiques and opinions about what I just released. And then yeah, I hope you guys I hope I see you guys then on one of my other videos. Like I said, this uh, Halloween Shoctober segment has started, and one new segment of it, it's let's talk about it. And I think I will then lead this let's talk about it further on, so it's just one special segment, not only but also the Pyramid of Light movie is one particular segment which will taking place in that Shocktober. So I will putting up those deck profiles, and then as I already said, there will be also be talks about this and that theme. I won't spoil it, so stay tuned and get more excited and curious about it. Yeah, lastly, I don't have anything to add. I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and yeah, let's see you on the next video. This is me, your Maniac. Bye!
Pumpkin, rise from the grave!
What is that thing?
It's the pumpkin, the king of ghosts!